Hello guys, welcome to a new plugin showcase. Today we have a paid one, Ultra Permissions by Textcode. You already know the style of Textcode, integrating a fancy GUI where you can access all features and all settings of plugin. You are going to ask, what does this plugin do? It actually creates a permission system, which is essential for every Minecraft server, where you tell what players can do or what they can't eventually. You can manage every player's rank and permission. You can create and edit groups and assign them to players, and so much more. It has MySQL Database support, which we'll cover later in this video. Let's dive into setup and begin exploring. Firstly, you need to download the jar file from this site. Get into Plugins folder in your server and put it in here. If you want to have your name above your head, change to prefix from plugin, you need to have name tag plugin as well. I want it, so I'm going to download and put in here as well. Now we are done. We just need to restart the server and it's going to work. Now we are at server and let's get into management GUI. You can do it by executing the command flash up erms. Ops, I forgot something. So, because the plugin creates a new permission system, it adds a new rank, which is above the server operator. To make GUI accessible to a player, we need to be super admin. To do it, we are going to console and execute upc add super admin and your Minecraft username. Now it's going to work. Let's test it now. Yes, the GUI appeared. There are 3 sections here. We are going to list all of them by expanding. We have groups, settings, group paths, permission log, and users. Let's begin with groups. We are seeing a blank page because we didn't create any group yet. Let's make one. Create group. We need to give a name to our group. Let's make it the default group for players. As you can see, it appeared here. Click to edit or queue to view the storage settings. This storage thing is to limit your rank to a world or to a server. Here you can see the worlds. I'm going to select it. You can limit to a server as well, but you need bungee cord for that. Back. When we clicked, many settings appeared here. We can make it the default group for every player. This group is for that, so I'm going to make it. We can manage the permissions. Here are listed our permissions got from plugins we have in our server. Let's add a random permission to it. Clicked and added. You can delete the permission by right-clicking or click to edit it. You can limit it to a certain server, certain world. You can change the polarity or delete it. If you can't find the needed permission here, you can write it by your own. Click on Add Permission. Then write the permission on chat and you have it. You can search a permission as well, and so on. Next, we have inheritance, which means that you can get permissions from an already existing group and add new ones to it. You can grant multiple groups to be granted a rank. Here is the part. You can change the prefix and suffix of group. This is a great one. It changes the username of player on chat messages, on name tag, and on tab list as well. Let's make one. I usually use only prefix and make it fancy using and sign color codes. I will leave a link in description to an explicative image. I'm using a square parenthesis, and between them the group name with significative color and bolded, like this. You can rename group name or to manage the players which have this group. You can change the icon for your rank. I usually use grass block as default rank. You can edit the chat format per group, but I don't recommend it. Then, in the end, you can delete it or copy it. So, if you understand the concept, let's make it one for admin 1. Create group, admin, prefix. I am making in same format, but changing the color to a strong red. Then go to inherited groups and select player. All the default groups permissions get in admin as well. change the icon to obsidian because I think it's making sense. It's that simple. And you can change the order as well. Higher rank is first in order. You adjust that, and that is it. Now we're going to manage the players. Here we have several items that we can interact with. We can see the online players, or from here we can see the offline players too. And if we have many players, we can search for a specific one. Let's edit one of them. Here we can see the group that the player belongs to. Here we can analyze the permissions, or we can purge one or to add a player permission or to make a specific prefix per player. Let's add a player to the group. Group, add, we select which one and then say, for how many days, hours, month, etc. Or do not touch it to make it permanent and click on press. That's it here. As you can see, the chat format prefix and the tab list prefix changed. Here we can get the history of permissions extracted from their database, or from jars, from plugins folder, and we check them. That's not that useful, to be honest, but is a feature and needs to be presented. Here we have the group paths. This one is useful and I recommend doing it. This one creates a path to an upper rank. Let's say you have a Minecraft server and want to make like player the default rank, then to be donator, moderator, admin, and so on. You can make escalation or descalation, or a player from command like demote or promote. Let me show you. Add the default named path. Here we add some groups, then you change the order. Here's the reversed order. Last is the higher. Let's test it. Promote name of player and the group path name. Here we go, we escalated the player, but because he was the highest rank, we did not have the effect. Let's demote it. Demote player name group path name. And I am player again. And the last section is the settings. There are 5 tabs which can be customized. In the first one, we can modify the prefix of messages from the plugin. We can set up if we want to get notifications, if there are any updates, or change the GUI update interval. If you don't know what they are doing, please do not touch them. On the second tab, we have something more interesting. We can customize the chat format to make it fancier, the tab list format, and the name tag format. The chat format I usually use is not the default one, is with the highest prefix and username. Of player, then 2 gray-colored, greater than signs, and white message. I think this looks gorgeous, but if you want to make it, you own. You have some placeholders here that you can use. The tab list I use it, the default it, I think it good for now. On display name, I use the same format as tab list, but by default, it's disabled, so we need to change it. To make it effective, you need to have name tag edit plugin in plugins folder. I have it so I can make modifications. Yes, for now it looks great. Here we have some language settings. I leave it on English because it has 100% of translations. The fourth is miscellaneous. First one says, if we want to give the default permissions to players, I usually give them, so enable it. Default group assigning. I usually leave it as if the player does not have any group assign the default groups. Negative permission override. I don't touch it because it's not needed. If the player if op is no need to be able to delete any permission of it. And here, if we have the name tag edit plugin, it shows that we can display the name tags. And the last one is about setting the MySQL Database storage. Let me show you how you can do it. You need a MySQL database, a local one if you are hosting on your computer, or you can get the hosting provider one. These with hosting provider, just create one and all details going to show here, then enter the credentials. Let me show you. Host, port 3306, enter the database name, username, password, SSL enabled. Name of proxy server going to be the name of a server. I usually put the database name that I entered. You're good to go. Restart the server and it's going to work. Plus, you can control the whole functionality with commands. Usually for console commands. You can search about them from their website from down below. I know that their commands start with UPC, and you can explore by yourself as well. So that was the whole plugin showcase and setup. It was a long one, honestly, but the decision remains to you. I hope you liked it and learned something. See you at another video. Have a good one. Goodbye.